Hey guys, so today we are talking about the only 5 eye brushes you need. They are all from BK Beauty. I have done a million makeup videos over the years, but I have not done one brush video. And that is because most of my eye looks are crazy cut creases, lots of glitter, lots of shimmer, and that's not what the general population is doing with their eye makeup. So I never bothered to make a video for my brushes I use. But there have been so many BK brush sales on TikTok, which made me try out some more. So this is not going to be about my cut crease application. This is for like the general population. This is what I would be doing if I wasn't doing cut creases. And like I said, I only need 5, and I made sure of that because the past few months I only kept these on my counter to use, and they're the only ones I used. Like honestly, all of these sitting here, I don't need to use them again. I might need like three or 4 for my cut creases and glitter looks, but for day-to-day life, I literally only need these 5. Let's talk about these brushes. Also, random tip to save more money. As I said, I bought them all while they were discounted. I have not bought one from the actual website. I bought all of these from TikTok, all discounted, and that still didn't satisfy me. So I left them in my cart. I went back to my TikTok scrolling, and eventually a TikTok will pop up that has a 50% off code. So I got this $22 brush for $11. It's technically $28, so I got it for $11. So again, do not ever pay full price for these brushes. This Nikki Rose one, N15, this is $40. There's a discount for $33. That was not good enough for me. So I waited, got the 50% off, and I got this for $17. So just side note, if you want cheaper BK brushes. So let's start with the first brush I always use, which is a big fat fluffy blending brush. I usually need 3 brushes. I need a fluffy one, I need a more tapered fluffy one, then I need a more detailed one, and then I have packing on and lower lash line. So for the first fluffy comparison, it's going to be between 212 and N13. The 212 brush is a combo of the 201 and 202 brush. So I never bought those brushes because I was like, why have 2 when I can have 1? Now I wish I bought the 201 brush because I don't like the tapering and flaring of the 212 brush. So I'm gonna go in horizontally versus vertically because obviously that's a lot thicker. It already packs a lot horizontally, and if I go like this, you see how much it's covering. So I personally don't need that much. I will say though that it packs on faster and with more pigment, but I'm usually doing more colorful pigments than this, and I don't want it to appear that intense. So for me personally, with my natural looks, with my intense looks, I would still prefer this. If you are someone who wants one and done and don't have that much time to build up, then the 212 would be better. See, like my sister, she's a one and done kind of girl, just is not focused on the blending. She's more focused on her eyelid, but I still wouldn't recommend this to her because this would take up too much. I even tried the 212 brush on my best friend's eye. She has bigger and rounder eyes. Yet this brush I also wouldn't use on her because you can see the brush is so big it's already hitting her eyebrow. If you are not trying to make a detailed look and you want to be quick and only need 1 eyeshadow, then yes, this eyeshadow brush could be for you because you can blend it and then it grabs enough pigment where you could sweep it over your eyelid. I will show you right now. So I'm gonna go in with this shade to use both in the crease and the lid. And then I'm just gonna sweep this on the lid. Even though my sister has a lot of space and she's also a one and done eyeshadow kind of girl, she doesn't like her eyeshadow being up too high. So again, this also wouldn't be a good brush for her. I feel like you need to have a specific kind of eye or taste for this brush, so I wouldn't really recommend it. And what's more my speed is I don't like my first shade to be that intense. I need the first shade I'm going on to be built slowly over time, and I like that it's small enough where it can bend in here versus this where you look how much space it's taking right here. So I'm gonna go in with the 209. So you can see how much more color it is when you use the right brush to pack on color versus this where again it's just a sweep of color. So as you saw, it either sits horizontally or vertically, and that covers way too much of my crease, like I just said. Now I wish I tried the 201 instead, but I don't want to spend my money on another blending brush I'm not going to use. So again, I want the fluffiest round brush for my first eyeshadow color. Okay, next we have the A502 and the 211 brush. Smaller, more tapered blending brushes. So as you can see, there's a flatness to the A502. It is not a fully fluffy brush like this, but these work practically the same. You do not need both of them, but again, for someone with hooded eyes, this is so much better. I just never grab this. The Angie Hot and Flashy brushes, these were designed with more mature lids, hooded eyes in mind. But like my sister, even though she has a hooded lid, you can barely see her lid. Her hood is all the way down that it could look like a monolid. So with that in mind, I personally wouldn't get her the A502. I'd get her the smaller version of it, which is the A504. So yeah, if I wanted to put something in her crease on the outer edge, this still would be too big for her. And this would be perfect for her. But for me personally, I just never grab the A504. And I love that there are two sizes. When I do it horizontally, I can hit this whole crease. I can flatten it horizontally and it fits perfectly here. I am so in love with this A502 brush. For some reason, it's just not as smooth when it comes to blending. It gives me more of a workout. I can't tell if it's because it's a tiny bit firmer, but it feels like it's catching on more to my lid versus the A502. Next, we're comparing the A504 and the 207 brushes for your outer corner. Okay, so on this side, I'm going to be using the A504, basically the smaller version of the A502, and on this side, I'm going to be using the 207. This one, first impressions, I immediately fell in love because I was like, holy crap, where have you been? I put the most pigment on my outer corner and I have never been satisfied. I'm always still having to build up the outer corner color. When I used this for the first time, I was like, it's that easy to get all that color in one? But I have to admit that even though this is so fluffy and a completely different shape and way thinner than this, it kind of does work the same. So if you have less space than I do with your lid, then go for the A504. Again, this is what I would give my sister. I would not give her this. It's way too thick. And with the A504, you can blend it up and you can't really do it with this, but when it comes to the outer corner, my priority is building the color. So again, if your priority is quick, then go for the A504. See, bam, gives me instant, the most pigment right there, and that is exactly what I want in the outer corner. So you can still blend it out, you just can't really blend it all the way in because of how chubby it is. For me, my priority is the pigment on the outer corner, because even after that, I still always blend everything together. So I am coming back to blend it. So when it came to packing on deep dark shades in the outer corner, I only ever used Sigma's Pencil E30 brush. Not because this is the best, but it's just because what worked. I didn't bother to think about getting other pencil brushes because I mean they all look the same. I assume they all work the same. But when I got the BK207, I was just mind blown that I was missing out. So I'm gonna tap these on the back of my hand so you can see how much better this is at packing on color versus this. So I'm just gonna tap this on, blend away the excess, and then I'm gonna tap on more here because I do not just do 2 taps like that. I need to really get in there, pack it on my outer corner, and keep dipping back in and out to get it deeper and deeper. And again, with this, I don't need to do that. I just needed to do it one time and I was done. Okay, again, that's the BK brush. That is a Sigma brush. But I packed on way more on this pencil brush than I did with this. I am admitting that this bad boy right here, the A504, kind of works the exact same as this, but I just tend to grab this more when I'm doing my outer corner. Again, because I'm not thinking of diffusing my outer corner. This diffuses well, and this packs on. Another thing I freaking love about the 207 is since it can apply so much color fast, I have also been trying this for my inner corner shades, and I don't need my pencil brush at all. That's what I would use my pencil brushes for outer corner, putting highlights, and then blending my lower lash line. And they sucked for all of those. But again, I just thought that's how life was. But just letting you know, this is also amazing for the inner corner. Okay, next for your shader brush, the brush that covers everything on your lid. The 209 mini shader is perfect for me because I have hooded eyes. I don't have a lot of lid space. So I would not be using this on my best friends because they have so much lid room. So I would be getting them the 209, the regular shader brush. Another simple brush where I was like, oh, I have a million brushes like this, but they don't work the same. So usually, which is rare, if I'm doing an all over lid shade and not a cut crease, I will be using the Sigma eye shading brush, E55. And you know, kind of same vibe, same shape. This is just a lot fluffier. And I need it firm like this so it can really pack on the color. Again, once I got this, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so much easier to apply my eyeshadow. Last but not least, the best brush for your lower lash line is the 204. I've had this e.l.f. smudge brush for the longest time. I honestly don't remember what I used before this. I think this is $3. I have 3 of them. Even though it gives me trouble sometimes, I just never bothered to look for something new. I was like, hey, it works. But when I got the 204, I was like, oh my gosh, why was I making it so hard on myself? So as you can see, look how much longer and fatter the e.l.f. brush is. You can be so much more detailed with the BK Beauty one. This one, so many times it makes too thick of my eyeshadow pop here. Like I'm always cleaning it up with a Q-tip because it's just so thick, but this gets right in there. And again, I don't know why I just suffered through that when I could have gone something better. Okay, now that we're done with the 5 eye brushes I think you should get, let's talk about the ones you do not need. This is the A505. It's supposed to be for shimmer and glitter eyeshadow. It is horrible with that. Every single time I use this for glitter or shimmer, it just, nothing picks up. I always end up using my finger, which ends up always being the best. I mean, I will use it to cut the crease, but I always have to correct it with my Anastasia No. 3 brush. So for my regular folks, you'll need a brush like this. The 211, like I said, there is just nothing special about this. You could get another $3 e.l.f. brush that looks just like this. Get the other fun ones. They're more unique. They work better. This is just like, I never grabbed this. And again, the 212, I feel like you could use it, but for the majority, it just won't work. Honestly, I've gotten used to using this. I might actually like it, but overall, it's not a good brush for a big chunk of people. Because I noticed not a lot of people have this much space between their lid and brows. Like they're usually down here. So again, this takes up too much. But I like this when I'm being quick and I really just want to get the outer edges blended. So again, I feel like this is for a specific eye, or if you like one and done quick eyeshadow, then sure. But again, like, I wouldn't push it. Again, these are the only 5 eye brushes you need. Like, I haven't even been grabbing my brow bone brush because like I said, I've just been keeping these in my bathroom and I just grab whatever and just sweep it on my brow bone. So you don't need a brow bone brush. I'm pretty sure BK has one, but again, not a need. Slightly different recommendations based on your eye. So I will put which brushes I think will work best with your eye. They're pretty much the same brushes, except some are smaller than the others. So I hope this video helped you out on what would be the best BK brushes for you to invest in and buy, and that will make your life so much easier. Again, don't be like me and just wait till all your brushes give out and then just rebuy the same ones. Like, invest in better ones. And again, they are not expensive after the discounts. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and I'll see you in the next one.